This right here is the Pro-Aim Smart Camera Slider. It has some nice features, but how does it perform in the field? And do I recommend this right here to you guys? Let's find out. Those who follow me know how much I love a slider. In my 10 tricks with a slider video, I even mentioned it's what I believe the best investment you can do. For the past 5 years, I've been working with the very popular Canova slider, which I'm still very satisfied with today. When it comes down to sliders, I'm very picky. I've worked with various brands, but I would always hold on to my Canova slider. Today we're taking a look at the Pro-Aim slider, which is new for me. Now, interesting enough, it got a lot of my attention on paper. It has everything my Canova can do with some extra options. But let's first take a look at the specifications. The slider is 3 foot long, or 90 centimeters. This is the perfect length to operate on a single tripod, which makes it compact. But it also gives you some nice tracking range. The slider is well built. Everything is aluminum, no plastic parts, and relative lightweight. The form factor is also perfect. It also has all of the basic functions like a spirit level, multiple 1/4 and 3/8 inch mounting points, and adjustable legs. The legs were both better and worse than my Canova slider. I didn't like the height adjustment that much. There is a long screw to adjust the height, but it doesn't work fast. On most surfaces it wouldn't be that big of a problem, but when you're going outdoor you could lose some time with that. The Canova legs can be adjusted from the side, which I use pretty often. But then on the other hand, I do like it very much how the legs fold in line with the slider. You can set up the Pro-Aim slider in literally 5 seconds, as with my Canova slider you need to screw the legs on and off to use it. Now let's talk about the bag. You get one, but I don't believe it's made for the slider. It's way too big. They've even added a padding to have the slider fit better. But it's not a huge issue. Important is that you get a bag, which you can swing on your shoulder. Some manufacturers don't even give you a bag, and their slider is double the price of the Pro-Aim. But let's talk about the sliding mechanism, perhaps the most important part. The camera plate holds 4 bearings that slide on the top and 4 bearings on the side. I'm very pleased about this, and you can feel it in the sturdiness as well. There's absolutely no play with the top plate. However, the slider is new in my hands. My Canova slider also didn't have any play when it was new. After 5 years of use, it does have some play now. I can adjust that and tighten it again, but it's not an easy process. I have to take the whole thing apart. The Pro-Aim slider actually has its bearings adjustments on the outside with just these 3 simple screws. The bearings roll on an open platform, which lay a little bit deeper to protect them from anything that could fall on it. The surface is covered with a coating, not with paint, so the surface should stay smooth. Although, you must keep in mind that it is aluminum, so do be aware that no sharp objects come near it. There's no cleaner, you'll have to get a cloth of your own. Make sure to also keep it clean, regardless of which slider you have. You don't want any dirt to go into the bearings. We still haven't talked about the sliding experience, did we? Well, the Pro-Aim Smart Slider has a friction. That means there's a little drag when pushing the camera plate. I haven't seen many sliders yet that have this in such a lovely form factor. The Kessler slider can do that, but that's just one big clumsy slider. Anyways, it's really a lovely feature. You can do much better and more controlled slides with this one. You can also adjust the friction, but I've had some issues with it. To start with, you can't disable the friction. It's how the bearings were built, but it's not a big problem. I love the friction, so why put it off? The real problem occurs in the tightening itself. First of all, it's a wobbly knob, and the first 5 turns don't do anything. Only the last half turn will actually put some more drag on the friction. But I have the feeling it's more of a lock. It's kind of blocking the sliding instead of increasing the drag. Also, the screw within that friction adjustment comes loose occasionally. You can easily tighten it again, but it's not so user-friendly. But I have to be honest, I have no desire to change that friction. If you work on DSLRs or other medium format cameras, then the standard friction from the bearings is perfect. The camera platform can also be locked. It's a very sturdy lock, easy in use. But it can't be overlocked. I'm a very big fan of doing angled slides, and for that I must really be able to tighten the lock, so my camera won't fall. When using a simple 3-way head and my GH4, the lock was perfectly fine, but I'm a little bit worried when using bigger cameras. So I did a little test and put some kilos onto it. And apparently it can only take 2 kilos or about 4.5 pounds, and then it slides down. So what I did was take out the screw from the lock, tightened the bolt and repositioned the lock. I was now able to tighten it way more, and it could handle up to 6 kilos or over 14 pounds. The last thing I wish to talk about are the mounting options. You have plenty 1/4 and 3/8 screw holes. The camera plate even has an adapter for the 2 sizes. So don't ask if your ball head will fit on it, because yes, it does. The outsides have a rosette mounting. This is also a pretty nice feature for the accessories, like an additional motor or something. But it doesn't let you mount the tripod plate on it for vertical sliding. The screw is also a different size, so you'll need to add some extra accessory to that goes from a rosette to a 1/4 inch screw hole. The Pro Aim Smart Slider also comes with a 75mm ball, which allows you to attach your slider directly to your legs and perhaps use the tripod head on the slider. It's very nice that they've put that in, but I would never use it that way. I love to use the pan and tilt while sliding. You can check out 10 tricks with a camera slider by clicking in the cards up there. So that's it for the Pro Aim Smart Slider. My first impressions are very positive. The slider has some minor issues, but I believe every product has that. But that doesn't weigh up to all the great stuff about this slider. The foldable legs, the build quality, smooth sliding, and of course the friction of the slider, which makes me want to switch to it. Canova has proven itself to still work after 5 intensive years, so I'm very curious to see this guy after some time. But the big question is, do I recommend this slider to you? And the answer is yes. For $300 you get a lovely slider. To those who do a lot of outdoor shooting in extreme weather conditions or action shots, I might recommend something else where the sliding surface is more protected and the legs have an easier height adjustment. But to all the rest, it's a great bang for buck. Interested in some tips and tricks with a slider? Then definitely click on the video on top, and for more reviews, click on the video below. Thank you so much for watching, and stay creative.